Hey guys, and welcome to IG8Live Esports. We're live once again here with PGL F1 Sunday League for round 7, I think it is, of 23 for the Japanese Grand Prix. And we're getting started with our short qualifying session here right now. We got 16 drivers in this race session here. And thanks to the guys for the league for just waiting just a few minutes for me just to make sure I get on and get the full qualifying session onto this race stream here. And yeah, really appreciate that very much. So once again, guys, as we get started here, as you guys are on the stream, as you guys are joining on, please make sure you guys leave a like on this stream, and make sure if you're new on this channel, make sure to subscribe, because we do have a lot of esports racing that go on here during the course of a week. So thanks for everyone currently has joined onto the session. So let me just make sure I get everything set to the stream so we can get on through with our qualifying session that we got started there. So short qualifying session and then to a 50% race. I just finished with one race, so we're getting on to another one. So just give me a second here, guys. Okay, so we got all of our drivers now getting out on their out laps here right now. So we'll start to see some qualifying lap times coming very, very shortly, as we got quite a few drivers actually out on the track right now. So a bit of a busy track here. I remember, guys, Japanese Grand Prix is the only track that's actually shaped like a figure 8. It's the one impressive fact about the track that we actually everybody knows. So let's get on to the rest of the qualifying and let's have a look. I think Ethan here in P8 currently is already on a hot lap, so let's have a look with him. Yep, he's just gotten started there in Sector 1. So we can have a look on an onboard view of him getting around the track. And looks a bit cloudy here right now. Are we having a wet session? I'm not sure, but hopefully the driver will let me know what's going on with the session here. Okay, so far so good on this lap. He's having all purpose sectors, of course, because probably the first driver to set a lap time in here. And we got majority of the other drivers are now on their hot laps going through. We got 17 drivers in this race session so far now. So it's going to be quite an interesting grid for the qualifying session as well. Let's see how they all get through and how competitive this sort of lap times are going to be. So currently Ethan with a 127.3 and takes the only pole position available for him right now. So let's see who's going to be the next driver to come in with a lap time here and what sort of lap time they're going to be making as well. Let's see who else is currently running. We got Dean running here. I think there's a Ferrari spun around there. And Clarky has invalidated his lap, so he's going to have to try that again. We're currently following on with Dean at the moment here. Oh, and we got a confirmation from Ethan there. It's just a dry overcast for the entire session. So I know that does kind of, I think it does affect the track temperature just a little bit when we do have an overcast like this. So it's going to be a bit lower than expected. So maybe just a little bit reduced amount of grip that these cars are going to have on track. And thank you, Ethan, for joining on the stream. Really happy to have you here. So far we got a few lap times in. We got Ethan still holding on to provisional pole with at 127.2. Mr. Rage now goes into second with a 127.3, 110 slower. Then we got DT Bevs there, 127.7 in P3. We got Gremlin there in P4 with a 128.050. We got Maddie in P5, 128.4. Sniper goes P6, 131.2. And Codfish not having a best of lap at a 145.6. That's going to be improving, hopefully, in the next round of laps that we have happen here on track. So guys, so far so good with the qualifying session. Let's have a look who else is currently running out here. I think Fat Member might be on a lap. Oh, and definitely flying around sector 3 here right now. About to finish that lap. So let's see where he's going to go on the grid when he actually does get that lap finished with there. And he goes back into the pits. So we're going to have to wait a bit to see a lap time from him. But so far so good with qualifying. It's not too bad as these cars are getting through here right now. I think on the second round of laps that we're going to see happen here on the track, then we should have some more competitive lap time start to come in. So we'll see what that's going to be like as we get to that part of the qualifying session. So far it's 11.5 minutes, just under 11.5 minutes left in qualifying here right now for the Japanese Grand Prix for PGL F1 Sunday League here, guys. Hey gamer, thank you for joining on to this session as well. Enjoyed having you in the last session with all the donations you did give as well there. And no problem if you're busy, man. Do appreciate you joining on and actually leaving a like and just having a look at what you do. And if you are busy, just have a look at the streams later on when you do get a chance. I know you do enjoy watching these race commentaries as well. Alright guys, back on again. Sorry about that. I was just making sure I did share out the stream link for the guys in the Discord for the league, just to make sure they can have a look at the stream. Some of the drivers, I know they do watch the stream as they race, and I know some of them watch it just afterwards. So we currently are following on with Beefy on his hot lap here, which he's invalidated, so he's gonna have to try that again. No gamer, I have not have a look at the videos yet. I was just kind of busy switching on to getting this stream started, and just turning on some of the features for the stream as well, and just getting everything sorted with that. I will have a look at the video though after this stream. I'll be having a look at that, and then I'll let you know about that as well. So currently following on, let's switch on over to someone else who's currently running here at the moment. We got Dean doing another lap here at the moment. Let's see how well he's getting on through. Hey Vintage, thank you for joining on the stream. Glad to have you on here. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream as everyone else is. Hopefully everyone else is enjoying the stream as well. Alright guys, if you do join on the stream, please do remember to leave a like on the stream. Really appreciate you guys doing that, and I appreciate you guys joining on the stream as well. And yeah, gamer, I'll have a look at that in just a bit here as we get through the qualifying. So Dean goes P4 right now at 127.6. Not too bad with this time. So currently we have let's see, we got 8.5 minutes left in qualifying, and just we'll have a look at that in just a second, gamer. Let me just go through what's happening here right now. So we got Racer Avocado currently on provisional pole with a 127.009, so close into that 126. That's quite impressive. We got Ethan there in second right now, 127.2. Mr. H currently P3, 127.3. Dean currently B4, 127.6, which he just got. Fat Member out of this session. DTS currently P5. Gremlin there in 6th. Maddie 7th. Mikey in 8th. Sniper 9th. And Crawfish currently in 10th. We got about half of the grid still yet to make their qualifying time in, and no gamer as confirmed by Ethan there. It's just going to be an overcast for the entire session. No actual rain in the session. Of course, I'll never be surprised if that actually does even happen, but I don't think it's going to be any rain in the session. It's just an overcast. That's why it looks so cloudy, and it's definitely going to affect the track temperature just a little bit though. So tire grip is going to be just little bit off than it usually would, and let's see who we can follow on right now. Is Beefy currently on a lap? I'm trying to follow him at the moment here as he gets around, and let's see if he's finishing a lap here right now or not. That's our on board, and he goes P6 right now, 127.9. Not too bad of a time. We got his teammate Walker out and an outlap here right now. And why is the Renault smoking from the back? I'm not sure, gamer. I didn't even notice that. But probably got onto the dirt a bit. Maybe that was the smoke getting off. If they do get off track and get into the dirt, it does cause that to happen sometimes. Alright guys, back online again. Sorry about it. I was just checking out a video the gamer just sent me there, and yeah, gamer, I just saw that. That was actually incredible. I actually didn't see that one before. I thought I knew which one you were talking about, but I actually did not see that one. That was a little bit worse than what we had happen in the last race that we were streaming. That was a little more bad than what I just saw in that video. Yep. Never actually saw that happen before. Yeah, the engines actually do give off a bit of that's a kind of like a heat signature coming off of the engine because they're so hot with these cars running. That's why that shows that way. It's the intensity of the graphics that we have here. If I could have streamed this in 1080, you would have been able to see it a lot better actually, which we'll be able to do some point very soon. Don't worry, because we're upgrading the whole streaming setup here. We'll be able to do all of that pretty soon. So let's get on to our session. 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Sorry for the bit of delay with the mic going off and on here. So far as we have it, Racer Avocado holds on to provisional pole start here with 127.009, still holds on to that. Maddie now up into P2 at 127.042, 400th of a second time difference between them. So Walker now up into P3 at 127.1, always putting himself onto a podium position somewhere for qualifying here. Ethan there in P4 right now, 127.2, not too bad of a time. Mr. Rage down to P5, he's on an outlap right now. Gremlin in P6 on a hot lap right now, and let's see how that's going for him. 127.5 at the moment there. Dean currently on another outlap, 127.6 in 7, 127.7 for DTBS down in 8. Beefy currently into the pits with 9th position. We got, let's see who else is running down at the back. Kalarki and Wumax is on this session here as well. Glad to see him in on another race. So let's see, Vintage into the pits right now, has not made a time as yet. We're going to be getting out on track pretty soon, I assume. Let's get, oh yeah, for this portion of the track I'm not allowed to switch on the overhead cam as yet. So you know Fat Mamba is already out of this session. The yellow flags, gamer, are because cars are any car that is currently not on a hot lap, they usually have to get out of the way to allow the faster cars to get through who are currently on a lap, so that they don't interrupt someone's qualifying lap. So when they get off track, it causes a yellow flag on track. That's why the yellow flags are happening so much during a qualifying session. So that kind of explains that, if that makes sense to you. Yeah, it's just because everyone's trying to get out of the way, not because if you do get into the way of someone's qualifying lap, you can get a quali ban, race ban, or some sort of penalty added to you from the league itself. So they are not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to block a car on track. So they're following on with Clarky here right now as he gets around, and he's going to finish up this lap pretty soon. Let's see what sort of lap time he's going to get in here as he gets about, oh, and he gets back into the pits. Probably not a good lap on his end. Where is Vintage? Oh, Vintage is on an out lap here right now, so I think he's about to get started on his hot lap. So we're going to follow on board with Vintage as he gets around this circuit here. And let's see what sort of lap time he's about to bring in. So we got majority of our grid currently with our lap times. Racer Avocado still holding on to a provisional pole start. Maddie still in second, Walker still in third. We'll see how that holds up down to the end of the session. And I think it's pretty interesting so far that we have all from P1 to P9 all in the 127s, and then we get into the 128s and get a little further down. So just goes to show, guys, how competitive this grid is going to be, as well as we are about to get started with this race pretty soon. I think it's going to be very interesting. Times that we have, it's going to be a very interesting race start. Remember, we're running down into turn 1, not overly long, so we're going to have to keep an eye out on that as they get around that first turn there and see how that goes, especially through sector 1. It's a bit kind of I guess a bit wavy. It's one turn after the another, so you got to be able to chain corners pretty well in terms of getting through sector 1 on this track here for the Japanese Grand Prix. So we're going to see how well these guys get a race start on that and how it is going to go, because I think the race start is going to be pretty impressive to see if we're going to have any incidents happen on the opening lap. And Dean now goes fastest in this session with a 126.9. Very impressive time there, my friend. I like to see what's happening with that, because it's just about less than a tenth between the time between him and Racer Avocado there right now. Actually, less than 100, I would say. Actually, that's a little too close to call it. It's just about 0.02 of a second, at least a few thousandths of a second between the two of them. Walker's retired from the session. We got just less than a minute left in this qualifying session right now. Vintage goes 13th on the grid there right now. Clarky back into the pits, hasn't made a lap time. Fat Mamba out of the session, and it's been pretty interesting so far, honestly, for this session so far. It's been quite interesting to see how the qualifying times line up, and we got a few cars still on their hot laps here right now. Let me just adjust just a little bit. Yeah, guys, so we still have a few cars finishing up their hot laps here right now. The qualifying clock is about to run out with just about 15 seconds left on it, and then we just go into a bit of overtime with every driver who's currently running a hot lap there. So we're about to get into that race session very soon. We're going to get onto the formation lap and then to the race start. Remember, it's a manual race start, and it's going to be quite interesting to see who's going to get off on a pretty good start for the race there. And let's see how the opening lap of the race goes, and if we are expecting a safety car or not. I'm not sure if you guys expect one, but I'll expect there will be a safety car in this race at some point, given the way the track is. And guys are going to try and push as much as you can, try for the overtake. It's going to cause incident at some point. We do expect a few minor contact between cars on the opening lap, so we'll see how well it goes though. But so far so good for the qualifying. It's officially over with the qualifying time there right now. We're just in a bit of overtime for any driver currently doing a hot lap there at the moment. I'm not sure if anyone still is running a hot lap. Let's have a look. I think all the drivers are currently finished with their laps. I think they're just getting through on the track right now. So everyone's going to basically just retire off of the session here right now, and we're going to get straight over into our race session. I just have a look at our qualifying results before we do get off into that session there. So two drivers only not making lap times in here, and looks like Walker's 127.1 is going to probably hold him there in P5 for now. So not too bad so far with qualifying. It's been pretty interesting. We got two 126s in this session with just literally about how do we even call that? DTBF's 126.900, Dean with a 126.992. Just about 900th of a second difference between those two guys. So really quite impressive. And then Racer Avocado 127.009. It's quite impressive with our top 3 lap times that we have so far. Actually, top 4 lap times that we have so far. Because even Walker going on in P5 is not far off. So just goes to show you how competitive this grid actually is and how close those lap times are. Just about a few thousandths of a second close to each other. So you can just actually understand how close this race start is going to be, how competitive it's going to be with the battles that are going to happen on track. So there we have it, guys. DTBF is going to start on pole for the Japanese Grand Prix here for round 7 of 23 for PGL F1 Sunday League. And then we have Dean starting in 2nd. We got Racer Avocado starting in 3rd. We got Maddie starting 4th. Walker's going to start in 5th. Ethan starting 6th. We got Beefy starting 7th. Mr. Ray starts 8th. We got Gremlin starting in 9th. We got Mikey starting 10th. Womack starting 11th. Vintage starting 12th. Scooby starting 13th. Codfish in 14th. Sniper starting 15th. Fat Mamba starting 16th. And Clarky is going to start 17th on the grid there. So let's get straight on through to our formation lap and the race session here, guys. And good luck to all the drivers on this race here, because it's going to be quite an exciting race to watch. Okay, so we're getting started on the formation lap here right now. Everyone getting a bit of a practice start, and just getting the tires warmed up to everything up to temperature before you get started with the Japanese Grand Prix here. So we're going to have these guys weaving around the track just a bit on their one formation lap that they have to get around. 17 drivers for the start of this race, so it's going to be quite interesting. Close to a full grid, just 3 drivers short of it, so that's not too bad. And Gamer, thank you very much for a donation on this stream. Yeah, you did quite a lot of donations on the previous stream that we just finished just before you got started with this one. Look forward to your continued support on this channel. Enjoy having you on the live chat as well every time we have a race going on. I know you enjoyed having to watch the commentaries as well, so no problem. That is good on my end. You go ahead and do what you need to, my friend. I really appreciate the support that you have going on here. Yep, I'm okay with that, no problem. So it's going to be a 27-lap race around the Japanese circuit here, guys. So let's see what sort of strategy these guys are going to be using, because let's have a look at tires right now. I think majority of our cars are on the soft tires, which means we're looking at these guys doing most likely a one-stop on this track here. Of course, that's going to be a bit, how do I put this? It's going to be a bit dependent on safety cars and VSCs as well. We know that's going to happen, right? So let's keep an eye out on that and see how well these guys are going to get through in terms of race strategy, because they're going to have to base it upon how much safety cars or VSCs they actually expect to have in the race as we get on through. So we're going to leave this on position changes for the race start, as you guys know we usually do. We're going to put lap data on, and telemetry is going to be off for the first 3 laps until we have the DRS enabled. And then we have race strategies right there for the pit stop strategy. It's going to be a 2-stop for some of these drivers if they want to actually do that, and it's going to be a 1-stop for these drivers who are trying to go for a bit of an aggressive strategy here right now. Alright, so we have our drivers starting to get lined up back onto their grid slots, and we're just about ready to get started with this race here right now. And thank you, Gamer, for joining as a member of IG8Live Esports channel. Really appreciate that, and I'm going to be very happy to have you as a member of the channel. And he's joined as an Esports Elite member, so very happy to have him have that. And I'm going to be working on those memberships as well in terms of what you guys get as being a member of the channel. I will start to promote that a little bit more, as well as we're about to get started on a race here actually. So let's have a look at this as we get started here with the Japanese Grand Prix right now for PGL F1 Sunday League, round 7, guys. So let's see how Dean gets away with DTBFs in the lead of the race, and they're going down into turn 1. DTBFs gets away pretty well as the Ferrari gets by him, so does a Red Bull there, and not having the best of start on his end. Let's see what that's getting through for the rest of the grid, as a bit of contact between a few cars, and we already have a virtual safety car happening. A 5-second penalty for severe collision between Gremlin and Beefy there. and that's happened down right down somewhere in the midfield of the grid here, and someone, Clarky, is all the way down in the back, as I think he started right there, but what happened down in the midfield that caused that safety car, quite a bit of incident, and I think there's a lot of debris on track. That's what happened. I usually just assume that, guys, because usually, yes, I forgot which tier I put it as for Elite members. I did change that once we changed the channel over to Esports from the January of this year. I did change it to different levels of Esports membership and put it on true. And I have a few more things to add as well. Gamers are going to have a few features available to you as a tier 3 member on it here. So thank you once again for joining on to that. Oh, we still have the predictive race strategy coming on. Okay, so that was a VSC for that incident. I think there we have, and we're back racing again either way. So let's have a look on what's happening here. So DTBF still continues to lead this race right now with Dean there in second, Ethan in third, catching up to Dean, and he's gonna looking to get by here pretty soon as they race on through in sector 3. Let's see how well that's gonna go. We still are on position changes here right now. Ethan's gotten a few positions up in this race so far. And so far so good for getting back started after that VSC there. And Walker here is catching up to Ethan. He's going side by side through down the pit straight. They go into turn 1, and side by side still they might actually be doing a switch there. So Walker seems to have gotten up a position on Ethan, gets up another position there. He's going to continue racing on through, and our leaderboard has gotten mixed up. So let's avoid looking at that for the time being, guys, and not getting confused by it. That's going to sort itself through in just a bit. So remember, DTBF is currently leading the race. Dean there in second. Walker currently into third now. Ethan down to P4 as he's continuing to chase Walker down to try and get that position back if he can. We got Maddie coming there in behind Ethan as well. He's trying to catch up and get a position up if he can. But gaps are pretty close off between these guys right now. Oh, and I think that's a Red Bull of someone. I think that's a Red Bull of Walker. Had a bit of a issue there. I think he might have made a bit of a mistake. Yep, definitely did. And he's trying to get back a few positions up here right now. So it's currently running in P5, just behind Maddie, based on that mistake that just happened there. But he's still running pretty high up in the race and has a pretty good chance of catching back up to get his position further up in the race. On down to Mr. Rage here in P9. He's trying to catch up to Gremlin there, who's just in front of him, but seems to having a difficult time to actually catch up. We don't have DRS online as yet. We're only in lap 2 of this race and going on through. So let's put onto tires here. Oh, and Gremlin goes wide. That might leave room open for Mr. Ray to try and get a position up here. Let's see if he's able to do that as he's cutting up to the racing point in front. And Dean here gets fastest lap in the race so far. That might be switching around as everyone gets through the grid at the moment. Going back up in front. Dean has gotten up to DTBS quite a lot, and he's looking to get up a few positions, get up one position up into the lead of the race here if he's able to at the moment. I think it's kind of dependent on the internet. Maybe if it's going off maybe a little bit, that might cause the bitrate to go off a little bit there, gamer. But we're working on getting that set up so that we can have the streams go into 1080 instead of 720 on 60 pixels there. So we're trying to get off this 720 and take it up to 1080. That's why I'm trying to upgrade the setup. So first step was that of getting a new mic, so we got that done. So I'm working on getting a few more things set up so that we can improve the quality of the stream and getting up to just a better quality so you guys can have a clearer view and a higher bit rate to work with in terms of the stream as well. Because I know how it is with the 720. I do prefer it in the 1080. And we have a safety car here right now. What's happened on track? Something's definitely happened that's caused the safety car. Fat Mamba is out of this race, and that seemed to happen somewhere down there just before the finish line actually. I think that happened just on the pit straight itself. So we'll have a look at that as we get around here right now. Hopefully, I'm not sure if anybody's getting over. That car has disappeared already. So we're not going to have a look at that anytime soon. So as we continue on through, safety car on lap 3 here right now. We had a VSC in the start of this race, and now we're on to a safety car to get on through. So let's see how this is going to work out for the drivers here. So we got some pit stops happening. DT Bevs did not pit. He continues to lead this race and continues on through here on lap 4. He goes on to there right now. Let's see how that strategy is going to work on through, because Walker is not pitting as well. He does have a penalty to deal with. Ethan is in the pits. Majority of our drivers are currently into the pits there right now. Wumax has not pitted either. He's currently going to continue on. Takes over P3 in the race right now. And let's see how the rest of the drivers get on through as they start to get out of the pits. So guys, this safety car is going to change things up just a bit. It's going to have drivers start to get a lot closer to each other back from the start of the race when they started to actually get a bit distance between them. So that's going to happen here right now. And we're just going to follow up to see how the pit stops are going to be changing things up just a bit. We know our top 3 drivers who are running there did not do a pit stop. DTBF started on P1. He's still holding off the lead of this race. Walker has not pitted. Womax has not pitted. And it looks like Scooby did not pit as well. He's running there in P8 right now. I'll let you know more about that game or later on. What happened there just now? I think a car just went... Something just seems strange. I could swear to God I saw a car go straight to the side of the track into the barriers or something for a second. I'm not probably seeing things. Maybe I'm streaming too much for one day. But let's have a look. Yeah, gamer, I'm going to talk to you about that and have you look at what I actually put on the channel for that. Because I'm not remembering what I put for the different tiers at the moment on the channel membership. But I have to check it back because I do have to do a few updates on that as well. As we have this whole esports thing keep growing and getting better and better, so I'm gonna be adding a few more things to it as well. If you have any suggestions, do let me know as well what you think we can actually add to the different tiers as we have them. I would do actually prefer some suggestions on that so I can know what exactly is happening. Racer Avocado is crazy. Where is Racer Avocado right now? He's currently running down here in P9 in the Haas here right now, and doesn't have any damage to the car. So let's see how the rest. What penalty does Walker have here right now, which is 1-1 low? A 5-second penalty for Walker and a 5-second penalty for Mikey there right now. Let's see how they get on through with that, because currently we're on lap 5 going. I think we're gonna have to go through lap 6 as well under the safety car before we get back racing here. So that's gonna be a bit of an issue. It's gonna slow down our race just a bit, as we know from the previous race that we were watching. For all of you guys who were watching the previous race, we had quite a few safety cars. I think it was 6 safety cars. Gamer was there, so he definitely knows how much that was. Yep, so that was about 6 safety cars in that race. That's why we had to get a bit of a delay before we got started with this session here. Fortunately though, the guys did wait until I was able to get on and start the stream, so we got the full qualifying session and we're getting the full race session as well. That's okay, game on the ground. Dean, I'm not sure. Where is Dean on track? He's down here 15th at the moment. Okay, so currently running on lap 5 of 27 in this race, and I think it's going to be interesting when we get back started. But let's see, I think we expect quite a few battles as we had going on since the start of the race. There were a few battles happening going on through, but incidents do tend to happen. I'm not sure what the incident with Fat Mamba was though that got him out of this race here, unfortunately for him. But let's see how that's going to continue on through for the rest of the 16 drivers that we have remaining in the session. It's always a good race with PGL F1 Sunday when we do have that. Even a PGL F1 Wednesday. Hopefully I'm able to continue that Wednesday. I'm not sure as yet what's going to happen with the rest of the league races that we have during the course of the week. Remember guys, I have not fully decided which days I'm going to keep streaming and which days I'm not going to keep streaming. Because I'm trying to bring some new content to you guys as well. So let's see how that's going to work out. I'm still working on deciding about that later on this evening. Maybe we'll probably have to confirm a few more things. Yep, I didn't know someone was weaving around a little too much. I think they got off track just a bit. I'm not sure what happened with the weaving there. But, oh, there we have it, guys. Safety car is going to be in on this lap. And we're about to get back racing here. So let's have a look on how Walker and DTBFs are going to get along out front, because these two are going to go for it. Definitely, we're going to keep on board with Walker here as we're about to get started back with this race. And we do have DTBFs on soft tires. We got Walker on medium tires. So let's see how this is going to go. We can see Walker already trying to get right alongside DTBFs before they even get across the line. And there we go. DTBFs gets a pretty good start, but Walker's going to chase him down into turn 1 as they go back racing here right now into lap 6 we're going at the moment. So let's see how turn 1 is going to go with those two out front. We got Wumax very close up behind them as well there. I'm trying to get a good look at the rest of the grid as they get on through. Down to Scooby trying to get a wrong. Oh, and the Red Bull of someone gets a wrong ahead. Beefy gets up ahead there of both Mercedes. I think he did. Yep, he did. And we got Mr. Rage in the, and we got one Mercedes off track here right now. Scooby's off track into the wall down at the side. Had a bit of incident with someone there, I think, or might have just lost the rear. I'm not sure. Clarky running in 11th here, just behind Mr. Rage. He's trying to get up into 10th position right now, and he's have to chase that down for quite a bit. Mikey in front there in 9th, and a bit of train of a cars going on as we get on through. Racer Avocado is chasing down Vintage here. Doesn't actually try the dive vomit on his own. Pushes it on the inside here right now because Vintage went a bit wide on that, and he gets a position up into 6th place in this race. And BV gets a position there as well. He's running just behind Racer Avocado here right now. And we got the AlphaTauri of Vintage. He's still trying to keep up with the Red Bull of Beefy there at the moment. So let's see how that battle is going to continue on through. But so far so good on that safety car restart. We got quite a few battles going on in the midfield right now as these guys are going on through. Clarky there trying to chase down Mr. Ray still for that position. And Mr. Ray chasing down Mikey, who's chasing down Vintage. And that might not end pretty well. Let's have a look what's happening. A bit of trainer cars going through. Definitely some contact. I can see a Renault. That's Mr. Rage and Dean trying to go side by side. We got Mikey and Clarky trying to go side by side. Down into turn 1 they go as well. And looks like Mikey might have the better go at this because he's going to have the inside to get around. And he gets up the position into 9th place right now on Clarky there. And actually gets that done. Splits up between the two AlphaTauris at the moment. So not too bad on that overtake. He needs to get the wrong Vintage here right now to try and get up another position into 8 if he can at the moment. Let's see if he's going to be able to get that done. On board we go as we have Clarky getting alongside him at the moment. And gets off track just a little bit, so he's going to have to hold that back as Mikey continues on through chasing down Vintage for P8. So let's see how that battle continues on to go. But so far so good in this race. We got Clarky and Mikey pretty close up, but Mikey is very close to Vintage out front, and he's trying to keep that gap as close as he can here right now. Trying to get alongside, and let's see if he's going to make that sick. No, not going to make it sick as yet. He's still pushing on through for this position though. He's trying to go side by side with Vintage, but not able to get alongside him as yet, but might get that along the straight coming up here right now in Sector 3. And Vintage goes a bit wide, almost a bit of incident between the two of them, but Mikey braked just in time and held off on that. Uses his overtake just a little bit. I think he was trying to hope for that DRS advantage, but not getting it on this lap. He might get it into the next lap there because I think they just went through the dejection point for the DRS, and he's going to have it. Oh, and a bit of tire contact between the two of them as he gets around in the final turn. Goes up into P8 here right now. Vintage is down to 9th, just behind his teammate. His teammate is going ahead of him, side by side. Is up in the 9th already, and it's a definite switch between the two of them. Not sure if it was planned or not for that one, but he's gonna have to let it go. And Vintage is in a bit of trouble here right now. He's under pressure from Dean just behind, with the Renault who's trying to get up that position there as well. And yep, definitely a bit of contact between the two of them. Let's have a look, see how that's working out. Dean gets up the position up into 10. Vintage down to 11, so it's about 2 or 3 positions he's lost within the last lap that we've had him go through here. So quite a bit of action in the midfield right now. DTF continues to lead out front of the race though. Walker still running in 2nd, and Ethan still running in 3rd. Maddie running in 4th, Womax running 5th, and Racer Avocado in 6th right now, with Beefy under a 2nd behind him. So that gap is going to start to drop maybe just a bit as they continue on through there right now. Clarky just about half a second behind Mikey, and he's still trying to chase him down for that position there right now. Let's have a look at how that battle is going. And Clarky is looking to get up that position. Definitely looks so. He's going to have to hold it back just for now. Very dangerous portion of the track to try and get an overtake done here right now. And let's see if he's gonna have he has a lot of overtake to use, but not actually using it as yet. And we got Dean coming just behind these two as well, so he's looking to get a position up if he can here right now. Let's see how this battle gets on through, as it's getting pretty close between these two, getting to the final few turns, getting around, and they're about to go into lap 10 here right now. Actually, I think into lap 9, sorry, not lap 10. So into lap 9 they go here right now, as he has a pretty good run down the straight into turn 1. Takes it on the outside, puts himself up into 8th position there. Mikey's down to 9th now, and let's see if he's going to be able to keep that gap as close as it is right now. Going down to Beefy here in P7, chasing after Racer Avocado there in 6th, who has Clarky about 2.4 seconds behind right now. Gremlin getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's currently in 15th, and let's see how that's going to work out for him. That's going to cost him some time there. out front, our gap are just a bit extending as they are right now. Walker having some trouble breaking down the gap of 1.5 seconds that he has to DTBFs, who is currently leading the race. Eaton in P3 running about 3.6 seconds behind Walker there at the moment, and we're still following on here right now with Racer Avocado, Wumax and Beefy, and Wumax has fallen down to 6 here right now, just in front of Beefy, and he's trying to get up that position. Let's follow on with the three of them and see who's going to get out in front of each other here. As it is, Racer Avocado holds on to P5, Wumax holds on to P6, and Beefy is holding on to P7, trying to catch up, and he's definitely trying to get a position up here if he can. We also got Dean under a second with Mikey there, still trying to fight it through for that position, but he needs to break that gap down as much as he can, and they're going to continue racing on through. That McLaren is getting pretty close off to the house of Racer Avocado, and let's see if he's able to get that position up. He's probably going to have a good run going down. He's going to have DRS advantage down the pit straight, has a lot of overtake to use, not using the overtake though, he's just using the DRS advantage as he going through. Just put it on for just a second and took it out back. Clarky getting the fastest lap in P8 there right now as he's getting a pretty good go, trying to keep up with Beefy there, and Beefy is keeping up with Wumax pretty well. So a bit of a train of cars between Racer Avocado going all the way down to Clarky here, fighting it off, I guess for P5 we'll say, as we got the AlphaTauri of Clarky trying to get around. And let's see where that's going with him here right now. He's trying to hold it off in P7, trying to hold off Beefy there in P8. I think he's doing pretty well with that so far, because Beefy is having some trouble trying to get by here at the moment, getting a bit on the dirt as well. So gap being held off pretty well between them as they continue on through. Lap 10 of 27 as they continue on through the Japanese Grand Prix here right now. Only one driver out of this race so far, one safety car, one VSC since we started this race. A few penalties handed out, and we're going to see how the penalties stack up as we get further into the session here. So guys, the gap is still about just under half a second between Clarky and Wumax. So we're keeping on the overhead cam because we're trying to keep an eye on Beefy and Mikey as they come behind these two, fighting off for the position here. So that McLaren is under some serious pressure right now. Wumax is going to have, oh, and there goes Clarky side by side with the McLaren of Wumax, goes alongside him. He's going to, looks like he's going to get the position on the inside, takes it up into P6. That's Wumax down to P7 right now, and he might not be able to get that position back right away. Of course, the Red Bull of Beefy is coming just behind him, so he's going to have to be very careful not to lose another position here, because Beefy is on his tail at the moment, trying to keep up as much as he can. Gap is just under, way under half a second right now, and he's trying to get it under a quarter of a second to keep up, and he's going to keep in the DRS range, and he's going to have that advantage as we get around here. So currently on lap 11 as we continue on in this race, and I'm trying to have a look down in the back. We got Codfish there in 14th, fighting it off with Mr. Rich. Half a second that gap is, and we're still trying to follow on. Let's follow on board with Beefy here right now. He has Mikey catching up to him just down behind in the Mercedes in 9th, and that's actually a pretty close gap between them there right now, and he's pretty close off the Wumax as well. Mikey might be looking to get up 2 positions instead of 1 here if he's able to get that done. We're going to keep on focus with Beefy's car to see how they get off here. Out front, we got DTBF still leading this race at the moment, and Walker is getting pretty close over in front. Let's have a look what's happening here. Looks like he's going to try and take it down the outside. A bit of contact between them. I don't know if Beefy Walker took any damage off of that, but it looks like he has both end plate on still, and that is DTBF into the pits. So Walker is going to continue on, taking over the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix here right now. Another penalty for Gremlin down in the back there, and yep, that's Walker up into the lead. 11 laps done on those medium tires so far. Ethan there running now in 2nd place in the race. Maddie now running in 3rd. We got Racer Avocado coming in 4th. Clark taking over 5th right now. Wumax takes over 6th, along with Beefy coming alongside him, trying to get up that position. Does get it up into 6th place. Wumax is down to 7th right now. An excellent overtake done by Beefy, and I think that was quite cleanly done as well. The Mercedes of Mikey is coming down in 8th. He's going to try and get a position up on the McLaren driver as well. If he's able to, I'm not sure. Has a pretty close gap, and definitely looking to get a position up right now. Yellow flag in sector 2. Someone might have gone off for just a second, but I think everything is okay, and we're back racing again. And Walker out front has taken as a penalty there, or is that a penalty that he had all the time? I'm not sure. Oh, it's the same 5-second penalty that he had before. My bad on that. I took another penalty at the moment, but so far running with that penalty out front. Let's see how his race is going to be affected by it, because he will have to take a pit stop. So let's see how that continues on for him though, as we get further into the session here right now. And we got a very, very close gap going on here. Womack's about to lose his position to Mikey as he gets up alongside the McLaren, and he's going to take it on the inside on the next turn. Gets the position back on the racing line, and he gets the overtake done before they actually get to the turn. Quite cleanly done. That's Mikey up into 7th, and Womack is down to 8th position right now. And he has Dean just about half a second behind, so he needs to be worried about that car. Oh, and it looks like Dean is into the, no, Womack is into the pit, sorry, and Dean takes over 8th position here right now, so he's getting off those 12 laps done on those soft tires right now. He's going to get onto a new set of tires and continue into this race. And I think Walker has not done a pit stop since the start of this race there either. Let's have a look at that. So stop so far is Vintage and Walker have not done pit stop. There's also Scooby Down in 15. He's not done a pit stop as yet, so he's going to have to think about doing that pretty soon. DT Bev's in 9th place right now as he's on fresh hard tires and running at the moment. He was the race leader from the start of the race. So let's see if he's going to be able to get back up into the lead of the race here right now. So let's see what our gaps are at right now. Walker leading this race with about 6 seconds between him and Ethan, who's running in 2nd. We got Maddie running another 2 seconds behind there in P3. Clarky running P4, 1.9 seconds behind. Racer Avocado at 1.8 seconds behind Clarky, so in P5. Beefy running in P6 right now. A bit of a gap starting to form between most of our drivers. As we can see, we're going down to Mr. Rage, who's chasing down Sniper there for P11. Looks like he's about to get by. He's looking for a gap to go by, a pretty tight portion of the track here right now, and tries to take it on the inside of this turn. Looks like he might get it through. Let's see if Sniper is able to come back at him though. A bit of minor contact between the two of cars, kind of with wheel action, but still going on through. And that's Mr. Rage up into 11th position right now. Sniper down to 12, and he's going to chase after the oh, and goes a bit wide actually. Hopefully he didn't get a penalty on that, and he's going to chase after the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Wright, and let's see if he's actually losing some time there right now, so not going to be able to get back that position, as we can see right now. Getting back up to Dean here. He's 0.6 of a second behind Mikey. He's trying to get that position up if he can. And we're on lap 14 of 27 going right now, so just about the halfway point of this race, and we can see Gremlin is out of the race there right now. I think he's retired on track in sector 2. I think you can see his car stuck on track there where the yellow flag is, so it looks like he's retired on track at the moment, and half a second the gap is between Mikey and Dean at the moment here. So let's see how this battle is going to continue on through between the two of them. Out front, Walker has quite a comfortable lead of 7 seconds on Ethan, but he does have to do his pit stop, so let's see how that's going to work out for him. He's going to be a much fresher time. Oh, and Sniper is out of the race. What's happened to his car? Let's see if we'll be able to have a look. I'm not sure. And there is his car stuck on the side of the track. That's going to be a safety car for that incident there. That car will probably be disappearing very soon and getting on out in front. So Walker might have a very good opportunity right now to take a pit stop under the safety car that's just happened here. He might actually be able to save some time and might actually get her back in the lead of the race. He's 8 seconds in front of Ethan. Let's see if he can get into the pits here right now and get back out in time. And let's see if he actually is going to take a pit stop on his lap here or not. And yes, he is going to go into the pits. So let's have a look and see how that pit stop is going to go for him. And definitely he's going onto the soft tires. He's going to serve his 5-second penalty there before the pit crew starts to work on that car. And let's see if he loses a position. Loses a position to Ethan in the pits there right now. But is Ethan going to have to be able to get back out in front of him? No, he is not. So Walker gets back out in P1 so far, but someone is not doing a pit stop right now. That's Dean there, who has gotten out in front of Walker. And I got another car coming right now. That is DTBF taking back position ahead of Walker after his pit stop. Well, of course, Walker is on very fresh soft tires right now to go to the end of the race here right now. So he's going to have quite a bit of an advantage over DTBF's car when we do get back started. Because remember, under the safety car, everyone is going to be bunched up. Everyone is going to be running just about a quarter of a second behind each other before that restart happens. So that's going to be the advantage that Walker is going to have here. He's going to have a pretty good chance of getting into the lead of the race, because Dean there on 9 laps done on his medium tires. He's going to push on through to the end of the race on those tires. DTBF's on 2 laps on the hards. He's going to go to the end of the race and walk on very fresh soft tires there. Ethan on very fresh soft tires as well. So these two are going to, I think Walker and Ethan are going to be the two to battle it out to the end of the race for the race win. because neither don't have any penalties right now. DTBS might be involved in this battle as well, because those fresh hard tires might work pretty well for him depending on how hard he's going to push on them, and he's going to be able to push pretty hard on those tires as well. But of course, Walker and Eaton on the fresh soft tires have the most advantage here right now. Maddie there on the medium tires, pretty fresh tires as well. He might have a bit of an advantage to try and put the battle out through to the cars out front, and Dean there might be losing the lead of the race. He's going to have to be very, very careful to have that not happen to him. But we'll see how that works out as we get back started with the race very, very soon. We're on lap 15 and going here right now. Okay, so let's see where we're at here right now. So as we said, sorry about that. So as we said, Dean is currently in the lead of the race. DTB's running in second, Walker running in third right now, Ethan now running in fourth. We got Maddie running in fifth position. We got Clarky down into sixth. Racer Avocado takes over seven. Beefy takes eight. Mikey takes nine. Womax in 10th right now. Vintage in 11. Mr. Rage in 12. Codfish in 13. Scooby in 14. Sniper out of the race. Gremlin out, and Fat Mamba out of the race. That's it, as after all the pit stops that have happened in the race so far. Now we're on lap 16 and running. On with the safety car. We're going to be entering into lap 17 as we get back started with the race here. I'm assuming we're about to go back racing into lap 17. Let's see if that's going to happen. But if that does happen, that gives us about 11 laps of racing left, which means that Dean needs to push off those tires through another 11 laps. And that's going to be a tough call for him to keep the lead of the race actually doing that. But let's see how much positions he will be losing, if he does lose positions, when we get started back with this race. So we have to wait till these cars get into sector 3 of the track to know if they're about to go back racing here or not. So we're going to go on front with Dean's car as he's chasing down the safety car right now. I'm going to continue on with that. Alright, so it looks like we're about to get back racing on the next lap, which is going to be lap 17. That gives us about 11 laps of racing to go. And I think it's going to be quite an interesting 11 laps. We'll see how that goes. And we can have a good look from DTBF's car here to see he's having a pretty good run on Dean going into turn 1 already. He's on those fresh hard tires, well, not too fresh, but and we have Walker getting alongside that, getting around. The Renault goes a bit wide around the track, and Ethan and Walker get up positions already. Walker is up in the lead of the race already. Dean down to second, Ethan up in the third. DTBF's already down to P4 at the moment here. So quite a bit of change up happening on that restart. Quite an exciting restart actually as we get on through. Dean and Walker having a bit of a gap starting to form between the two of them, so Walker's getting away pretty well out front, and Ethan is trying to catch up as much as he can to Dean to try and get that position up if he can. DTBF's keeping as close as he can behind Ethan, and Maddie here trying to keep as close as he can as well. A bit of train of cars going on through. Clarky's trying to get past Maddie here for, and they're going side by side into that turn. A bit of contact with the Ferrari, and that's going to be not ending too well with those guys there. Definitely going to be reported, and a yellow flag in that sector of the track there right now. There's quite a bit of contact between a few cars as we continue to get on through here right now with Mr. Ray chasing off Clarky for P8 at the moment. DTBF's getting a position up on Maddie out front, and let's see what's happening with that here. And still following on out front, we got Ethan chasing after Dean there, and he's looking to get up into second place. So he has a pretty close gap to him. Let's see if he's going to get a good run down into turn one. Walker gets the fastest lap of the race. He's doing pretty well out front. Looks pretty good for a race win here for the Japanese Grand Prix. And we got Ethan. He's looking pretty good at getting second place in this race if he's able to get by Dean. But Dean is actually doing a pretty good job of keeping that car in second place right now. He needs to keep that gap constant and try to keep Ethan behind as much as he can. And we can already see Ethan has a bit of a gap away from DT Bevsey, who's currently in P4. 1.9 second that gap is as it is right now. BP is all the way down to P13, just got up into P12. He's gotten by Maddie, who's currently into the pits. Razor Avocado is into the pits as well, so a bit of contact with a few cars on that safety car restart as we got on through, but getting away pretty well so far. Ethan is now losing a bit of time. He's 1.4 seconds behind Dean, and he's definitely trying to catch up, but not sure how well that's going for him. We're following off with Mikey right now, trying to keep his gap under a second. We got Clarky and we got a spin happening with Clarky here, and he's reset it on track. I'm not sure if that's allowed in PGL, but if not, he's definitely going to getting a penalty for that for the next race. We'll see how that works out for him, but both AlphaTauri running just behind each other here, P8 and 9 right now as they're going, and trying to follow, see if that's going to be a switch between them. But Clark is still running there in 8. He's trying to catch back up to Mr. Rage, who's catching up to Womax right now. He's going to be trying to get back. We got a safety car happening. Not sure what that incident is about, but something's happened on tracks. A few major incidents maybe between cars that's caused another safety car to happen here. So we just got finished with one safety car. We're back up to with another safety car, and that's Ethan getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That's gonna ruin his race here right now, because we're on lap 19 of 27, and a safety car is not gonna end things well for him, and he was currently running in second place in this race. Mikey was up to third there. That's going to be Mikey taking away second place from him. Walker's still running in the lead of the race under the safety car right now. And Ethan is going to have to do that drive-through penalty after the safety car goes in. He's going to have 3 laps to get that done or be disqualified from the race. So that's definitely going to cause him to lose a few positions as we get back racing after the safety car. So that's going to be, I'm not sure how many laps will be left, but not very many. And he's going to have 3 laps to do this, the drive-through penalty. He's gonna have to just drive to the pits under the speed limit and get that done with, and that's gonna drop him back a few positions. Because remember, everyone's about to get bunched up under the safety car here once again, and then we're gonna get back racing. And when that happens, everyone's gonna be so close together that if he does do a pit stop just after the safety car, he's gonna be falling all the way to the back of the grid. So he might have to wait a lap or 2 before doing that drive-through penalty. He might have to do it on the very last chance he has to do it. And I think that's going to be his best bet, and try to save as much positions as he can. Those soft tires did him pretty well. He's gotten up into P2. Unfortunate that he's got caught speeding under the safety car and has to face that penalty. So actually, let's have a look at what the penalties are at here right now. So penalties as they are, we know Ethan has a drive-through penalty, Mr. H has 3-second penalty, Codfish has a 3-second penalty, Scooby has a 3-second penalty, and Racer Avocado has a 6-second penalty as things stand with the standings here right now. And let's have a look at position changes as they are here right now. Who gained the most positions in this race so far? We got 2 drivers. Mikey and Wumax gained 7 positions in the race. So was a Codfish there. So not too bad on those guys when they're driving there so far. But of course, I think it might be Mikey getting driver of the day on this one. I'm not sure how well that's going to go off. We're going to have a look at that as we get on through. That's the amount of pit stops that were taken in this race so far. And the trophy can go to Clarky and Maddie. They took 4 pit stops each so far in this race. Let's get on back to tires, and let's see how these guys get off to the end of the race. We're currently running on lap 19 right now here, and we just got into lap 20 of this race. I think we might have to go another lap under the safety car. I'm not sure as yet. We'll see how that goes off with these guys here as well though. But so far so good in the race. It's been quite interesting from the start until this point, and I think it's been a safety car race day today, because all day, all the races we've done, we've had a number of safety cars from all 3 sessions that I've done for today. So I guess I'll call this a safety car day. I'm not sure. It's been a lot of safety cars in these races happening throughout, but it's just a lot of fun on our end to watch this happen. and it's really enjoyable. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it here. So far we started with 17 drivers in this race, and you guys can see we're down to 14 drivers left in this session here right now, but it's still not too bad. We're gonna probably be going to the end with these 14 drivers unless another incident happens, and there is a very high chance of that happening, guys, because you guys know what's happening here. We're under a safety car, everyone's gonna get bunched up. We're about to go back racing very shortly, hopefully at the end of this lap, or not. If not this lap, it's gonna be the end of the next lap. But either way, once we get back racing, everyone's going to be within half a second of each other, and they're going to be fighting each other for positions as much as they can. And then the DRS advantage will come back alive again. Their ERS is going to be saved up, which means that's going to be overtake for them to use, and they're going to try and get a few positions up as much as they can. Hopefully no incidents are happening under the safety car here right now, because we know incidents do tend to happen under the safety car as we continue on through. Alright guys, there we have it. Race control says safety car is about to come in on this lap, so we're about to go back racing here right now, which is a lot of fun for us to hear, because we do enjoy watching the racing get back alive here. So safety car is already getting off into the distance. These guys are starting to weave around a bit. We got Walker holding off the grid in front as much as he can here right now, and he's going to be the first car to get back started. He's already getting started here right now, getting around the final few turns, and about to get back onto the pit straight with Ethan just behind him. And Ethan is going to do his drive-through penalty on this lap, so we're going to follow on with Mikey chasing after Walker. Walker's going to get a pretty decent lead out front, and let's have a look at the rest of the grid as they get on through into turn one. They go right now with Mr. Ray chasing off Umax for P3. Let's see how that battle is continue on through. And a pretty close gap between them, so going pretty well. DT Bev's down in there in 8th. He's chasing after Dean, it is right now, trying to get up a position into 6th place. No, sorry, 7th place if he can. And a pretty close gap. Let's have a look with Dean right now, trying to get up a position on the Ferrari. That's Scottfish in front of him, and DT Bev's in front of him as well. So let's see how that battle is going. Oh, a Red Bull trying to get around. That's BB trying to get around Dean here, and he has some problems with Clarky just behind him here. So let's see how that's going. I think saw some carbon fiber flying around there as well. I'm not sure if that was damage from some car or just some debris on track. Either way, it's going pretty well on that restart so far. We got that Red Bull of BB trying to get around Dean there at the moment, but not able to get a good gap to get around. But he does have Clarky coming just behind him, so he's gonna have to be a bit careful with that. Bit of contact. The Ferrari is off track down the back. That's Scottfish there having a bit of issue. So definitely some contact around here, and Scooby is now up into P8. Clarky down to 9th. He's gonna be chasing after that position there right now. See what's happening down in the back here actually. Trying to have a look, see what we've missed so far. Out front, we got Walker still leading the race quite comfortably out front. He's doing pretty well. On lap 21 right now of 27. We're about to go into lap 22. And we got the Ferrari of Maddie here chasing after the Mercedes of Scooby, and it looks like he might try to get that position up very shortly. Into lap 22, these guys are going here right now, and a pretty close gap. We got DT Bevs and Vintage switching positions out front, and let's see how that battle is going to go. We're going to go to that in just a bit, as we got Maddie going side by side with the Mercedes right now. He's about to get that position up, has the move down on the inside, but no, the Ferrari gets it back. Clarky is out of the race. What's happened down in the back with him? Let's see if we can have a look here right now. I'm not sure where he is. He might have retired in the pits, I'm not sure. I think he did. That's why we don't have a VST or a safety car for that incident. So let's get on back to our racing here right now. We're following on with Beefy chasing after Vintage for P6 it is right now. So let's keep an eye on that battle as it continues on. So Clarky out of this race. He retired in the pits there. 13 drivers remain here right now as we continue to race on through for the Japanese Grand Prix. And we're still on lap 22 going, so about 5.5 laps to go in this race before we get to the final lap here. And we're going to have a look at penalties before we get to the final lap to see how that's going to affect any finishing positions that we do have happen. Where is Ethan on track right now? Ethan is all the way down to 11th position right now after serving that drive-through penalty, which definitely ruined his race. He was on for a podium finish in P2 and about to challenge Walker for the lead of the race until that safety car happened and caused him a drive-through penalty because he was speeding under the safety car. We're still following on with Beefy right now. He has Maddie chasing him down for that position there, P7. And let's see how that's going to work. With Beefy chasing down Vintage for P6 right now. And DRS is now back online, so they're going to have that advantage as we go into lap 23 of this race. DTBF takes fastest lap in the race so far. And that's going to switch around a bit as the Red Bull of Beefy is trying to get around with Vintage here. And the two of them are fighting off for that position. The Ferrari comes in between of that as well as Beefy holds on to P6 right now. He's holding on pretty strongly to that. And Red Bull, let's see, Maddie gets up into P7. Vintage is down to P8 there right now. Unfortunate for him. And Dean gets a 3-second penalty. He's running there in P5. That's going to affect his race positions down at the end of the race because of the gap that he has to Beefy down behind. But let's see how that continues with the race as we get on through, because Beefy is going to try and break that gap down. He needs to keep 3 seconds between himself and Beefy there if he wants to keep P5 in this race. But Beefy is a little bit concerned about Maddie coming down behind him there as well. Let's have a look on board. As not too close the gap looks, but still it's a half a second gap, and he might have to be just a bit careful about that in terms of making any mistakes on track here right now, because Maddie is ready to take advantage and get up into P6 if he can at the moment. And gap is actually starting to break down just a bit here with Beefy and Dean there in P5. So we're keeping an eye on that going to race. However, Avocado is out of this race here right now. He's retired into the pits. That's going to put Codfish up into P12 right now. So only 12 drivers remaining to finish the Japanese Grand Prix here. And it's getting a bit more sunny than what we had happen from the start of the race. It was quite a bit cloudy. As we can see, it's getting quite more sunny here out right now. Let's see what's happening. Wumas gets another penalty there. And we're still following on with Beefy and Maddie here right now. Gap is still under a second. Walker out front gets fastest lap in the race so far. Has quite a comfortable gap. 3.9 seconds is the lead he has over Mikey there, who's running in second. Mr. Rage running third. Another 3.2 seconds behind. DT Bev's not too far behind though. And this gap between Beefy and Maddie is starting to go off just a bit. It might go over a second here as Beefy is trying to extend that gap as much as he can. He's trying to catch up to Dean out front. 3.1 second that gap is. He's gained about 8/10 so far, so not too bad going through for him. And he's trying to get that position up if he can. Remember, Dean has a penalty. He's going to get it up either way, but he wants to get past Dean and get it into P5 and then try to fight DTBS before we get to the end of this race if he can, because we're on lap 24. Continuing on right now. We got a yellow flag. Someone's off track somewhere. And I'm not sure who that is. That might be Codfish there. That is here right now. Let's see if we can have a look. That car has actually gotten back going. Might be a back running car. I'm not sure. Or it might be Ethan having some trouble there as well. But let's see where if any other close gaps exist here for us to follow on with here at the moment. I think our closest gap is with DTBFs out front. He's just over a second actually behind Mr. Rager, who's running P3 and fighting for the final podium position here. Oh, and someone was off track down in the back there. I'm not sure who that was. Let's get on back on board here with DT Bevs as he's under a second right now to Mr. Rage, who has a penalty and is running in P3. So DT Bevs looking pretty good at finishing third on the podium here. So far so good for this race, guys. Walker has a pretty good advantage out front. He's leading with 5.3 seconds gap right now to Mikey there. Mr. Rage there, P3, 2 seconds behind. And DTBF's under a second behind Mr. Rage. He's looking pretty good at finishing on the podium. So let's see if he can keep this going on through. But he might want to actually get past and cross the line in P3 and just to get on the podium as well. I don't think he wants to just get it by a default here, but let's see how that's going to go as they go to the end of the race. But it's going to mean some more points here for DTBFs if he gets that final podium position. The only way Mr. Rage is going to be able to keep it is if he's able to actually extend his lead over DTBFs, which doesn't seem to be possible at the moment here. Gap is still under a second, so I think this is our closest gap that we have as we continue into lap we're continuing on lap 25 here right now. We'll be entering into lap 26 very soon, so getting very, very close to the end of this race. And it's been quite interesting from the start so far. Started with 17 drivers, we're down to 12 drivers here at the moment. It's been quite a safety car day for all the streams that we've done so far. And let's see how these guys get through. Hopefully, no more incidents to the end of the race. We're getting into lap 26 here right now. DTBF still has a gap under a second between himself and Mr. Ray, but does not have the DRS advantage here. Probably didn't get across the detection point where it's within a second. He has to get that in order to get DRS on the next lap. So Let's see how this continues on through for them. But so far, so good. Walker still leads quite comfortably out front. 6.7 seconds is the gap right now. He's extending that lead as they continue to race on through here. And Mike is still running second. So Mr. Rage looking to get P4. DTV is looking to get final position on the podium. Dean looking to get P5. But let's see how these penalties rank up here right now as we have them. So a 3-second penalty for Mr. Rage. That's going to put DTBS up into the final podium position. Mr. Rage down to P4. We got Dean there with an 8-second penalty. And Beefy running behind him with a 4-second gap, which means it's going to be quite easy for Beefy to actually get P5, and Dean is going to have to come down to P6. And then we have Maddie there, another 2 seconds behind. I think that gap might actually push Dean down all the way to P7 here and push Beefy up to P5 and Maddie up to P6 if it continues the way it is. And then we got Vintage is going to finish 8th. Looks like Scooby's going to cross the line in 9th and take it right there. Ethan is going to cross the line in 10th, stay right there. And Rumax and Codfish will be able to keep their positions as they have it as well. So only position change we're really going to have is between Mr. Rage and DT Bevs, and then with Dean, Beefy and Maddie there. I think that's going to be how it's going to go. We're on the final lap here right now. We're going to follow along with Walker out front since we don't have too much of a close gap to follow along with Mr. Rage and Mikey there. Actually, Mr. Rage has caught up to Mikey a little bit. I actually just noticed that. But so far, it's going pretty well in this race. Getting into the final lap, we're following on with Walker here. He started this race. Let's see, where did he start this race? I even forgot where he started the race. So he started this race 4 positions down. And so far, Mikey is 8 positions up. Look, Mikey is looking to get 2nd place in this race and get driver of the day here right now, with Walker getting pole position and TTV is getting P3, Mr. Rage getting P4. Let's see if that's how it's going to go as we get to the end of the race here. Getting back to the penalties there so we can have a look on how that's going. So far, so good, guys. Walker's led quite a few laps in this race, and he's extended his lead by 8 seconds right now between himself and Mikey there, who's running in 2nd. So he has quite a comfortable gap out front. Even if he gets that 5-second penalty, he still is going to be finishing on the podium, getting a pole position for this race here. As he's getting into Sector 3 here right now. I'm not sure who has the fastest lap in this race so far, but we'll have a look at that as we come across with Walker here on the final 2 turns of the race. And he's about to get around to the final turn and about to go across the line. It's going to take pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix for round 7 here, guys, for PGL F1 Sunday. And that's a pretty good race win for him. We got Mikey coming around with 2 cars behind of him. Mikey is going to take 2nd place in the race. And we got DTBS taking 3rd. Mr. Rage takes 4th. We got Dean taking 5th. And we got Beefy coming around. He's going to be taking 5th place away now. Dean going down to 6th, now down to 7th. Maddie takes away 6th. And Vintage goes around. He's going to come around into 8th place in this race. Wumax finishing 11. Codfish finishing 12. Already across the line. That's Vintage in 8th position. Scooby there in 9th. And Ethan should come across the line in 10th position. And be the final driver to get across the line here right now. So an excellent race there, guys, from PGL F1 Sunday League for round 7 of 23. And we got a lot more races to have from these guys for Sunday races here. So quite an excellent race from them. Started 17 drivers, finished with at least more than half of the grid. And there we go. Driver of the day goes to Mikey there. Pole position goes to Walker. And let's see who got the fastest lap in this race here, guys. So one last look at the results here before we get off from the session. So Red Bull on pole position, guys. Not too bad of a finish for them there. Some good points here, at least for him. And there we have it. So Walker gets pole position for the race and gets fastest lap. Mikey gets 2nd place in the race and gets driver of the day. DTBF crosses the line 4th, gets P3. And we got Mr. Rage finishing P4. Beefy finishes 5th. Maddie finishes 6th. Dean there in 7th. Vintage 8th. Scooby in 9th. Ethan in 10th. Wumax in 11th. Codfish in 12th. We got Razor Avocado in 13th. Clarky in 14th. Sniper 15. Gremlin 16. Fat Mamba in 17, guys. And that's going to be it for this race here, guys. Thank you guys for joining on to the session. Remember, guys, don't forget to leave a like on the video, and remember, if you're new on the channel, do subscribe for more races that we have coming on during the course of the week. And thanks once again to Gamer for the donations for the streams that he's donated for this evening, and also for joining on to a membership on the channel. Remember, guys, you also can become a member on the channel or support any driver you wish using the super chat stickers that we have, whatever else available there, and you guys can have a look at that. And thank you, Vintage. Appreciate the comments on that there. Hope you guys enjoy the commentary. I enjoyed the improved audio, which we should be having through the new mic that we have set up here. And we'll have a few more things set up later on for you guys to enjoy it as well. So once again, guys, thank you guys for joining on the race session. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We have more races coming up different days of the week pretty soon. We'll have to change the schedule up just a little bit, but we'll try to cover as much as we can during the course of the week. So once again, I'll be off here now, guys. And please don't forget to leave a like on the video.